Hello, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be starting a series of videos on traditional tunes, and we're going to start with Beautiful Brown Eyes. I'm holding it here nice and still, so if you want to take a screenshot, you do have my permission. It's a traditional tune, it doesn't belong to anyone, and I will eventually work out a way to sell these downloads and exercises for lots of money, but for today we're keeping it low tech. This is a video for you to practice along to. I don't expect anyone to watch it from start to finish. I will put in the comments the time for each kind of particular bit that you might want to practice. So I'm hoping you'll do a little bit at a time and come back and rewind and keep doing little sections. I have my little cards here so you can tell what bit I'm doing visually when you're fast forwarding and rewinding through the video. Mostly because I don't like using a computer, so I'm doing it the low-tech way. First of all, I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Mary Claire Warren. I teach clarinet, flute, keyboard and saxophone from my home in Sheffield 12. So please visit s12music.com. I have a Facebook page as well by the same name, facebook.com/s12music. I'd love to see you there. So first up, I'm just going to play this song through, and then I'll explain how we're going to learn it and the process we're going to use to practice it. So I've already got this set up with a flute, an English waltz. Tempo is going to be, we're aiming for eventually is 120, and we'll have an introduction. Okay, so there we have it. So the main challenge my pupils find with this piece is in the bottom line, because you'll notice the top line is repeated 3 times and then all of a sudden it's different than the bottom line. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn the bottom line first, and I'm just going to reach over it because I have made you lucky people a Toblerone. Here it is. Here's my Toblerone of exercises. And exercise 1. Oh, maybe I should hold it a bit still in case you want to screen grab that. 1, 2, 3. Is that the right way around? It might be upside down. You can tell me in the comments. So the last line goes like this. Okay, and for this piece, we don't need to worry about fingerings because we've only got 5 notes: C, D, E, F and G. And if you're distracted easily like I am, you'll hear that there's a bin lorry outside. So after 3 we'll do exercise number 1, or 1, 2, 3. And we'll do it a total of 4 times so you can play along. 1, 2, 3. And second time, 1, 2, 3. And the last time. Okay, and I've just realised I've fallen behind with my little flashcards already because at the moment we're just practicing the right hand. So that's exercise 1 done. If you don't get it right, ideally you want to get it right 4 times in a row. So you can pause the video and have a go, and don't move on to the next bit until you can get it 4 times in a row. If you get it 3 times and then you start feeling a bit cocky, a bit too sure of yourself, a bit complacent, and you mess it up on the 4th time, start again at number 1. Okay, exercise 2. So now, this is where it gets tricky because we've got this note here, which is before the first beat of the bar. So we're just going to add that extra note on to the beginning. So we're going to start after 2 this time. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and we've also made the last note a bit longer, so we've got 2 beats in that bar, 1 beat in that bar adds up to 3 crotchet beats per bar in that time signature. So I'll play that a total of 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Third time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And for the 4th time, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and then we'll move on to exercise 3. So this time, this is from bar number 9. So we're going to join this line to this line. So we're starting from here and we're just going to get to that note there. And if you can do that, and if you can play all of that, then you can play the whole piece, because these 2 lines are the same as that line, but with slightly different notes at the end. That one finishes on an F, that one finishes, oh, those 2 bars different. So, after 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is where it's quite nice having a Toblerone, because it stops you playing too much. If you don't have a Toblerone, get some post-it notes and cover up the bits that you don't want to play, because it's always tempting to keep going and think, oh, I've got it. No, keep focusing on the small sections. So for the 2nd time, 1, 2, 3. And for the 3rd time, 1, 2, 3. And 4th time, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you practice that and you've got it 4 times in a row, we can go to the beginning now. So, top line is easy peasy. Okay, I'll leave you to practice that on your own. I'm not going to play that 4 times in the video, that would be boring. The 2nd line starts the same, but then this note here is where it changes. So more often than not, you'll end up with a circle drawn around that D to remind you that it's different from the F, because your brain's going to think, oh, I've done this before, but then here it's the first note that's different that is often becomes a mistake, but we want to try and get it right first time. So this is the 2nd line. And then we're going up to a G with your little finger. And then bars 9 and 10 are the same as we've already played. We're having dry after that because we practiced the rest of it with our Toblerone. Just realised I'm probably not allowed to call it a Toblerone. I have to call it a pyramid or something. I don't think anyone will tell them. So, next job then is we're going to play the right hand all the way through. 1, 2, 3. There we have it. I think the next job is we're going to start to add a drum beat. So you want to set yourself up for a waltz. So we're going to practice right hand and drums, and we're going to practice it at 80 beats per minute. So let me take my tempo down. And we can have a sync start. If we take the ACMP or whatever it is on your keyboard off, if we take the chords off, then the drum beat's going to start when we start playing the music. So. did you do? Did you get it right? Nearly? Sort of? Okay, so if you made a little blemish here or there, practice that particular bar, maybe go back to the exercises. If it was easy peasy, you can go on to the next one, where we're going to play it again with the drums at 90. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I really hope you're playing along. This is going to be a very boring video if you're not playing along. So, did you get it right? Maybe try it again. So, let's rewind. Try it again at 90. Wants to be easy peasy at each speed before you move it on to the next one. And do practice up little bars if you need to. So, here we are at 100. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well done. I reckon you got that right first time. If you practiced it well enough at 90, you probably won't need to practice it too many times at 100. Now, when you get really bored of practicing it at 100, I have a challenge for you. We're going to go straight to 120. And it might feel a bit fast at first, and you might think, oh, I'll never be able to do it. But trust me, you will. So this is what 120 sounds like. So that's quite a step up, but if you've practiced carefully up till now, you're ready to do it at 120. If you don't manage it first time, don't worry, go back to doing it at 100. Or do it without me, do it with your keyboard, 105, 110, just work out what works best for you. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So next step is to practice the chords. So we'll just have a quick run through those. So we've put our ACMP on, and chord of C is G, C, E with those fingers. That's sweet. And then we're going to move to a chord of F. So to move from C to F, we have our fourth finger on A. Please, 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 please. Remember, fourth finger on A. So fourth finger on A, your index finger stays on C and your thumb slides up to F. So we'll practice that chord change. C, F, C, F. So it's really important that we slide here and we swap here between our fourth finger and our little finger. Okay, and then on the second line we've got a C, and then we're moving down to a G, which is a change you'll have already done, you'll be familiar with that. And then we're going to C, and then F, and then we've only got one bar for these chords at the end. One. Okay, and then now you get treated to some singing. So maybe you might have a version with the words in, you might already know the words, we might have to write them in, we might even have to write the notes in, that's fine, whatever helps. So if you can sing, hum or whistle, it's a good idea to get into the practice of that, because I will be encouraging you to sing every lesson. So we're gonna do the left hand and we're gonna sing. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again. So, how did that go? Yeah, maybe? So if you don't like to sing, as a bare minimum, let's play it and count out the number of bars and look at the music while you do that. And then we can do left hand and drums at, should we do it at 80? Where's 80 gone? Oh, that's 90. 80. So 1, 2, 3. Do you know where I made a mistake? I didn't mean to. Everybody makes mistakes. It was on that chord of F. I caught the D flat there. So mistakes are all right, but you want to identify what the mistake is. Don't beat yourself up about it, and aim to get it right next time. And then practice it some more. So I'm not going to do this at all the different tempos. If you've got this far in the video and in the lessons, you can change the tempo by yourself, and you'll know whether or not you've got it right. So the next step then is to do right hand and left hand, but without a drum beat. 1, 2, 3. In fact, I just thought of something I wanted to tell you. So if you're still getting used to playing with both hands together, the best thing to do is to stop and have a little think each time you've got a chord change. Okay, stop. We're going to think through the chord of F. So we've got A, C and F, fourth finger on F. And stop and think again. So we're moving back to a chord of C, middle finger on E, play it all together. And another stop and think. So probably you're going to want to pause the video and do that at your own pace. But eventually those times when you stop and think will get shorter. But it is important to stop and think rather than, otherwise you keep playing with the right hand and your left hand lags behind, or you forget the chords altogether, or you play the wrong chords and you start programming your brain with mistakes, and we don't want to do that. We want to program our brains carefully, and then you'd have to practice as much. So both hands together at quite a steady tempo. So all I need to do now is play it with the right hand and the left hand and the drum beat at all the different tempos. So what I'll do is I'll play each tempo 4 times, and I'm not going to blather too much in between. You know the drill by now. If you got it right, brilliant, move on to the next one. If you didn't get it right, rewind it and try it again at that tempo. So 1, 2, 3. My Morrison shopping's just arrived, so to hear it faster, you'll need to hear it in a separate video.